And with a session's worth of rubber down, the FP2 times were even better. And it was the 2020 victor, Lewis Hamilton, who was fastest of all. A masterful quick lap saw him top the timing charts with a 1 minute 23.804. The Britain's teammate Valtteri Bottas locked up going into turn 1, the flying Finn desperate to leapfrog the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, sitting in a very respectable P2 behind the current Drivers' Championship leader. Witnessing Max Verstappen pushing his white ghost of a Red Bull around a Formula One circuit brought flashbacks to the late 90s, when the Dutchman's father, Jos, test drove Honda's similarly liveried car around Jerez. The Milton Keynes team have confirmed that the Japanese manufacturer will continue to advise next year, and many of their engineering team will join Red Bull powertrains as F1 enters a new technical era. Both drivers in the senior team put in a decent session, with Sergio Perez finishing P4, 1 place higher than Verstappen. A traffic jam at turn 12 saw Hamilton forced to run wide to avoid a collection of cars jockeying for track position behind the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll, the Canadian almost grinding to a halt, much to the annoyance of the drivers behind.
Yeah, what a disaster.
Lando Norris, determined to put his Sochi disappointment behind him, pushed hard, but took a little too much curb through turns 9 and 10 and was forced to abort his flying lap. McLaren teammate Daniel Ricciardo was the top scorer over the last 2 rounds, a total of 39 points for the Honey Badger from Monza and Sochi. But the Australian was unable to match the pace of his British colleague on this occasion. Nicholas Latifi took a couple of spins at turn 9, the Williams driver a victim of the tailwind gusting through that particular corner of Istanbul Park. Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah, I have water running in my foot, because your drinking system is leaking like... How is it difficult to do simple things?
The pump apparently was not running, so maybe it's leaking somewhere else. We're having a look.
Yeah, because I disconnected, it kept leaking in my helmet. Most simple part in the whole car, and we can fix it.
For Pierre Gasly, it was the Frenchman's seat positioning that seemed to be off.
My arms are too short to turn the wheel.
The AlphaTauri driver later understeered through turn 6 and found himself sliding backwards through the corner, but managed to keep it out of the gravel. So Hamilton from Leclerc, Bottas, Perez and Verstappen, with Norris a fine P6 ahead of the 2 Alpines of Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon, who had to abort a post-session practice start and leave his car on the grid and take a walk back to the garage. Gasly 9th and Antonio Giovinazzi rounds out the top 10 for Alfa Romeo. Yuki Tsunoda P11, the lowest of the Honda-powered drivers, but a decent enough showing for the rookie on what would have been his maiden home Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz P12 ahead of Stroll, Ricciardo and Räikkönen. P16 for Sebastian Vettel, himself a winner here in 2011. Then came the Williams of Latifi and George Russell, with the 2 Hasses of Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin in the final 2 spots.